Ikemeset Effiong is the head of research at SBM Intelligence, a geopolitical research firm focused on West Africa. What does it mean, a standby force? I mean, there's an argument that says if you're going to have a standby force, they better be standing by for something, and you better be prepared to use them.
Yes, indeed, Richard. Thanks for having me on the show. So the ECOWAS standby force is basically a mechanism which has been discussed in various guises over the past 2 decades, and really because of the ratcheting up of military takeovers, right, in the region. ECOWAS, which has had a ad hoc regional interventionist approach towards managing this sort of risk, and this dates back right well into the 90s with conflict in Liberia and Sierra Leone, determines that a more robust and a more permanent intervention, potentially interventionist footing, right, is required. Now, it's worth noting that the ESF, right, we don't know so much about its funding. It's been bogged down by, potential funding constraints. There are also questions about, how many troops, right, member states would be committed to this. And not every
Is it your...
so not every
Sorry, the delay on the line, but is it your feeling the ECOWAS does have the stomach for a fight?
The thing is, the stomach for a fight really depends on marshalling the necessary political will, and political will is thin to find, right, right across the West African sub-region for a military intervention in Niger at this point. Senators in Nigeria, for example, indicated in a closed-door session that they wouldn't vote to authorize Nigeria, who would form the bulk of any sort of interventionist commitments to this effort, right, to send Nigerian boats, in effect to its neighbor. And with political appetite thinning here in Nigeria, you're going to be hard pressed to find any sort of concerted commitment, right, from within the wider West African region. This standby force, for example, its eastern complement is supposed to be led by Nigeria. And even though right now it's just being put on a standby footing, this announcement this evening from Abuja does not necessarily mean that troops are going to be marching in either tomorrow or next week. It's not clear right now that the Nigerian president is going to get that Senate authorization in order to make this an actual reality on the ground.
So the one thing that's always been clear about these sort of events is that if you promise and don't deliver, you make a bad situation worse. So if they go down this road, standby forces, the US Deputy Secretary of State or Assistant Secretary Victoria Nuland wasn't even seen by the regime, the coup regime. So it's very difficult to see. Both sides are painting themselves into a corner from which it's going to be almost impossible to extricate.
Yes, very much so. And I think ECOWAS's first mistake was actually leading with the possibility of military intervention when, exhaustive efforts on the diplomatic front, right, were still, very much underway. The thing right now is that ECOWAS feels that with what happened in Mali in 2020, right, and again in 2021, and also what happened in Burkina Faso with those military interventions in those countries, as well as Guinea and an attempted coup in Guinea-Bissau, it felt like it had to draw a red line with Niger. The challenge is that for many West Africans, democracy hasn't necessarily led to economic development. And so for many people on the ground here in the region, there's actually a quasi-correlation between the presence of the democracy and the lack of, real economic development and real economic outcomes on the ground. And so this is why West Africa continues to remain, a palatable and a fertile environment for this sort of interventions. And ECOWAS, while trumpeting the democracy card for years, hasn't really paid attention to the E in the acronym ECOWAS, which stands for the economic. And that's one thing that many West Africans, including Nigerians and including a lot of these countries that are talking tough right now on Niger, have done very little of in the past.
I'm grateful for your time tonight. We'll talk more as this thing continues. Thank you, sir.